I just want to start everybody just by just saying how proud I am of Malcom and of Chris Boucher. They're just tremendous young basketball players, and for them to have this opportunity and be able to take the next step in their careers is just a wonderful step for them. It's great for our organization. It shows that next step in our lineage between Fred and Pascal, and now what these two are going to do. And I think their ability to sort of move forward and now take this next challenge in their lives and become great basketball players is awesome for us in the Raptors. We're really proud of them.
How easy does it make selling these young guys about the vision that you have for this group when you see two guys make that big jump?
Yeah, it's sort of funny. We have 8 players today, but it's sort of in a really good, positive space because we can say, look, our players are not here because they've moved up and they got NBA contracts. And that's an exciting thing, and I think it provides a little energy, little sense of, hey, I'm right there. The guy I sat beside yesterday is now in the NBA. It shows how close I really, really am. It's a good motivator for them, and hopefully they can continue, pushing themselves and see if they can get there themselves also.
Now, the 8 guys you spoke about were the same 8 that played Maine last time. What did you take away from that performance, knowing that sometimes when you play with 8, the next game you got a couple guys coming back, there'll be some change up, but no, it's the same 8, so you kind of can focus on what happened last game more a bit?
Yeah, it sort of has a bit of a playoff feel, right? There's sort of more personal with less players. There's sort of less room for sort of it to get spread amongst the guys. So everyone had a piece in that game. They had a stake in the game. They had skin in the game, as you want to say it. And now we get to run it back. And I think we learned a lot. It was a really close game. We fought and battled, and they fought and battled. I think tonight will be an experience for them to get into a bit of a playoff feel in terms of how do you play the same team again when you really had to fight with them the game before, and what can you do? What changes can you make on the fly to try and win this one?
Going back to Chris and Malcom, are you the type of guy that gets sentimental at all when you see guys? Because you spoke about Boucher in the summer. You said you didn't see much leadership from him, and now he's in the NBA. Do you get sentimental about how far these guys have come at all?
Yeah, I think I'm really proud of their growth, and I think for me as someone who really cares about people in general, that's sort of my character and my MO. To see players on my team doing well is an awesome thing, and for both of them, they're great young men. I think that's first and foremost, and they're being great basketball players also. I think Malcom really unique. He's only back from injury. 4 or 5 games? But I talked to him before that, and I said, listen, how you carried yourself as a person is really been part of why you've gotten where you are now. The Raptors organization know who you are as a person first, and we know the basketball can come. So even though you're 5 games in and we're not really sure what you have coming back, we know who your person and your character is, and that's what we sort of signed, and we know we can kind of work the basketball in the next few weeks.
And with Chris, was there any conversation that part of you can let us in on when he got that deal? Did you speak with him, have any sort of heart-to-heart perhaps before he went on his way?
Yeah, I mean, listen, with Chris, it's about how do you keep motivating and pushing him. And I think for him, it's hard to make the NBA, and it's even harder to stay in the NBA. So the work now really becomes much more serious in terms of where is he going. And I think at first, sort of, can I make it there? Well, yes, you can. You're good enough. Now, can you stay there? And that's a challenge that I've sort of given to him, and everyone is giving to him, right? He's a player who kind of that constant motivation and constant pushing him will help him along his career. And we hope he has a really good rest of this season. We hope we see him a few more times here with us. But I hope he has a great rest of this season into next year.
Coach, everyone knows you're proud. We're all proud of him, but moving on, you're 3-9 without him. So as a head coach of this team, trying to get a win tonight and a lot more in the rest of the season, now you almost have a bit of a stability that he's probably not coming back. Do you change anything, or is the mindset different knowing you don't have your shot blocker and scorer?
Yeah, I think you talk a lot about next man up in this league, and I think Derek Cook has done an incredible job for us. His last 2 or 3 games have been really tremendous. He's growing as a basketball player, day in and day out, possession by possession. His ability to rebound is sort of high end, probably one of the best in the G League. I think his ratios are up there in the top 10 or something like that. But also his now ability to sort of be a force on offense. That doesn't mean scoring 20 points. It means, can he get a rebound and kick it? Can he clean up some offensive rebounds? And can he make his open ones in the hoop, around the hoop? And he's doing that. So to me, the answer is Derek Cook and sort of the work that he's doing and where he's developing. And he's a far different player from when we first got him, and he is climbing quickly upwards, and we want to continue to do that.
I'm going to throw a curveball. Your other big guy, Christian, who I looked at his stats. He's like 74% of his scoring is from the three-point line, but maybe you need a bit more size inside. Do you expect him to get in the paint a bit more? Do you want him to keep kind of shooting volume from outside?
Yeah, I mean, I challenged Watt earlier in the year to say, listen, sometimes you're going to have to play the 5 for us, and you have to get in there and tussle with the big guys and get into that battle. His strength, though, is to shoot the 3, and I think we want to keep him shooting the 3 as much as possible. I'd say it's probably more Mikhail McIntosh who may end up getting more of those 5 minutes or more of those rebounding sort of in the paint minutes, and he's got to rise to that occasion to be more physical and sort of use his strength to a positive end for us. So I think it's Mikhail and DC that will take the load while Chris is gone.
Okay, and when you have 8 players, is when you manage time, rotations, do you have a system doing that? Is a specific coach that kind of gets to take that on, or how do you guys manage that?
Yeah, AJ Diggs has done that for me the entire season. He does a great job. We talk about it before and sort of build a game plan, and if it's 12 or 8, it doesn't really matter. We build our plan for whatever we have, and then we just try and manage it as best we can. Now, And we always say the game changes everything. 2 quick fouls or, a matchup that we don't like, we can just kind of get off our game plan pretty quickly. But we did a really good job, I thought, managing minutes last time with the 8 guys, and the same thing this time. The good thing, they all know they're going to play.
Yeah.